So here's the thought process that led to me, I guess, catching a trade on NAS 100. When was this? I don't remember. Probably Monday the 27th of May. Yeah, Monday 27th of May, 2024. Slight trade breakdown once more. So if I had to go back a bit to more or less frame the trade today. So as my approach or how we see the market, my methodology, certain things are a couple of things into my mind the moment I saw price developing like this from the week before. So that would have been what, the 24th of May. I saw that one, new highs were being created on NAS. When I say new highs, I mean like new all-time highs, for instance. They're being created on NAS, and it led me down the path of disregarding longs the moment the environment isn't a long environment anymore or isn't favorable for longs anymore. What I mean by this is that the moment we get failures in valid order flow ranges that I would personally play from, such as this one, then it speaks to me that, you know what, it's not a bullish environment anymore. So all of a sudden my thought process or the mental framework I employ switches to shorts. So with that in mind, kind of have like the framework already there, framing the actual trade idea. Now, when I went on, say for example, and just wait for price to do what it really does, then it kind of led me to like the second step in my framework, my thought process, which would be how am I actually getting involved in price development. But before I go on, let me just probably type these out. Framing the idea as usually first step. The second step is to more or less determine my involvement in prices delivery and development, I should say. Third step would be the entry, and as you can imagine, the fourth step would be the exit. So these four factors constitute my entire trading approach or the methodology, so to speak. These four like regard them as sequence of events for this. It's interesting, but I regard this as the foundation, I should say, for whether or not me taking a position is warranted, whether or not it's warranted or if it's just off the fly. If the idea is being framed properly, and the second step being determining the actual involvement in prices development, the third, the entry, and then the fourth, the exit. So the first one already established. How am I actually going about framing this trade idea? How am I going about trying trying to determine whether or not I should be long or short in the Nasdaq at this time? And as for the aforementioned reasoning, a mere fact that this low went as like a valid order flow range liquidity low, the moment this low went, it spoke to me that, you know what, the idea going forward is already framed, especially in regards to not playing longs, but instead focusing on shorts until there's no reason to short anymore. And this is where we get into the second step, involvement in prices delivery or prices development. So the moment I see this low goes, it speaks to me that a new order flow range is being created. That's the truth. It speaks that a new order flow range is being created really high, and obviously I got validifying factors for the highs and lows, but the high was set in place and the low was also set in place. So in actuality, my involvement in price is relative to, well, not relative, it's dependent. It hangs on the mere fact that, you know what, I'm waiting for the 80% of the order flow range that I've drawn to be actually mitigated. And there's a reason why this could be, well, this was regarded as my range high, given the supporting liquidation that lies just below. I regard it as a supporting liquidation as per methodology. And for me to more or less confirm the range low, then the reverse switching order flow will confirm. And this will constitute a valid range for me. So we got first step, framing the idea. The second step, involvement in price delivery. Now for the third and fourth step. Now what's interesting is that the third, especially for the third step, it lies within this one preset being evident. What was this one preset, you might ask? Time. When are you actually getting involved in say prices development, so to speak? And as for the last breakdown, the understanding was that within a specific time window, I intend to be taking positions, or I intend to be active in the market, so to speak, from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. But obviously, that doesn't mean that I am sat in front of a screen at a desk, just watching price. You just set alerts, and go about doing my other task, completing my other task, and it gets interesting. So you're gonna move forward now. We move forward. This is like at the end of Friday, which is calm. End of Friday, which is calm. So probably just extend this here. I think it was Monday that the position was triggered. So on Friday, because yeah, Thursday, 30-day form. Friday, reviewed it and realized, wait, it's interesting. Friday we didn't get the actual mitigation in the zone. So it was something that's kind of calm in itself. But then what happened is that this support and liquidation could be extended over here to this high created at 2:15, more or less in the afternoon session on Friday. And I say, you know what, this kind of setting up nicely for Monday or the following week. As you can see going forward, let me move across here a bit. So it could always be in frame. This framework is like in the back of my head, printing my memory. Understanding is there, but we move. So we move on. At this time, my limits are set because, my limits are set because of this support and liquidation. So the moment price came up here, or came at least in 50% of the range, then I usually set my limits. And you can see, eventually we get tagged in at, what was this time? 11:45. Tagged in at 11:45, and this constituted my entry. So the third step of the framework is more or less completed, it's been fulfilled. Whereas like the idea is already framed, the idea framed, the involvement in price delivery has been determined, the entry is there. Now for the exit. The exit for the system is simple, or for the model is simple. Where is the order flow range liquidity high? So if I just denote this, order flow range liquidity high, and where is the order flow range liquidity low? And it's simple. If I position short, my targets are always the order flow range liquidity low. If I position long, then my targets are always the order flow range liquidity high. But the reason, well, I guess it would make sense. It would be relative to the positioning. So if I obviously got a short running, so obviously I will let target lows as opposed to highs, because it doesn't really make sense. Targeting highs if it's shorting, but that's a conversation for another time. But the point is, the exit will be the order flow range liquidity low that I've been indeed playing from. So this is my range. I intend to be involved in prices development or prices delivery from 80% of the range, and I intend to exit once the range low has gone. So if you had to just look at numbers, for instance, when price is at, I guess this will represent 0. When price is at 0, that will represent the high. When price is at 1, it will represent the low. I intend to getting from 0.2, so this will represent like 80% or 20%, depending on how you view it. I would get in at 0.2 and exit at 1. And this for shorts. 0.2 represent 80% in this case, and 1 would simply represent the targets. These two numbers are very interesting, but that's for another video indeed. But if you just move on, you can see entered on the Monday. And what's interesting is that I kind of went on the timeline on Twitter and saw that guys were planning longs or are willing to play longs to the order flow range liquidity high. When I saw it, I was like, this is very interesting. It's really interesting because at that time my position was already, my limit was already there, so I was just waiting for it to be tagged, and I was just waiting patiently and keeping it calm, keeping it steady. But if you just, I don't know, move on, you can see it went a fair bit in drawdown, And the interesting part is regarding that 0.15. Let me see if I can draw it out or get it once more. 0.15, or the 85% of the zone or the range, has been mitigated. And that's something interesting, as I say, for another video. But we move. And you can see eventually you get a lot of like wish wash happening. Not wish wash, just prices delivery. But you can see that price eventually got the targets for the low. And this is following this framework and how we view markets, or my methodology, so to speak. And it's interesting because the trade, I opened it on, well, I framed the idea since the Friday, the Thursday slash Friday, entered on Monday, and exited on the following Thursday. It was way too calm, to be honest. It was way too calm. Way too calm. What was interesting about it is that once this one has been fulfilled, once this trade idea has been fulfilled, then I restart the process once more, or the thought process once more. Whereas I go in now and begin to frame an idea based on the information that's already been presented over the last week, for example. So that coming into like Thursday or the Friday or whatever day, but going into like the future, I know exactly what you're using that will allow me to get in a position. And bear in mind, this trade from the 6th of June, so the last trade Britain I did, it followed this exact framework as well. Where the idea was framing the idea, determining your involvement in prices delivery or development, the entry and the exit. 4 simple steps. No need to complicate it, no need to go off on a tangent. 4 simple steps that I use to actually position myself properly, or to actually take a trade that fits within my methodology, or fits within my rules, or my system. If you find this interesting, look at the first link in the description, where you'll find a free trial to white offering in regards to the group, in regards to the mentorship, in regards to techniques, in regards to text. Join in, see what it's really about, see if you get extra any value from it. Trust that all will be well. Trust that all will be well. But it's the same as that framework I relay, mental framework that I relay in the group, that is bringing progress, or is bringing development to some traders that are actually in there, taking it seriously. So if you found that as a nice proposition, I implore you to just click the first link, take the free trial. If it's no use to you, or you find that is somehow under delivering on the features or the benefits offered, then you could cancel your free trial within 5 days, or within how many ever days. But keen to see you there. Have a good one. It's way too calm.